Hello guys, and welcome back to another discussion based video, this time on the Cabal War feature. Remember, as of yet we have no idea what the Cabal War feature is going to include, but from our chat with the developer last time, he asked us the question, what would you like to see? So in this video I'm going to pitch to you my thoughts and a couple of ideas, and I'm going to ask you to put your ideas in the comments down below. And then what I'll do is I'll force feed one of the developers to watch this and gather all of your spicy information. Hopefully put this together into some really awesome features that are going to work great for the game. So I'm going to start things off just by saying what I think the Cabal War feature could add to this. Because in ARPGs we haven't seen that many great social features. Typically in Diablo 3, Path of Exile, etc., a guild is just a social feature to allow players to chat with each other more easily, allow them to find each other more easily, and it's really just a social setting or a club. Well, they've already called it a Cabal War, so they've already implied they want to add more dimensions to a Cabal, which is a guild, than the typical sort of social group. So Cabal War, the name implies it's going to be a battle between players of sorts. But I'm going to pitch to you why I think PvE is going to be the safer route for this. And my reason being is most players, and I would probably say 90 to 95% of players going into an ARPG, or an RPG for that matter, are expecting PvE. And furthermore, they're probably mentally more in tuned to PvE. Whereas you compare that with something like Halo, Call of Duty, etc., FPS, people expect multiplayer. They want to be able to kill other players. I don't think the audience for this is really going to jump on board the PvP bandwagon that easily. That being said, I love PvP personally. I would love to see PvP in this game. However, I think it's going to be a much safer bet if one of the core clan features is geared towards something that's going to accommodate for everyone, which is really PvE. But I do think there's room for hybrid systems, like their Fortress Attack and Defense, where you can sort of attack other players but not attack them directly as players. I think systems like that are going to be far, far safer for this. And something else I want to talk about before I start pitching ideas to you is I've had to talk with quite a few different people, and I think it gets a little dangerous if you start thinking of lore and then try and build a game around it. I think it's far, far safer to think of a good game idea and then work it into the lore. Reason being, and I'll give you an example, I think about 5 different people have said to me they think it should be Puritans versus Radicals, because that's lore friendly, very lore friendly. My issue with that is that takes us back to the WoW days where you pick a faction, and if your friends are in the other faction, you cannot play certain content with them, which for me is a really big problem. I do not think you should limit someone's RPG choices based on what their friends' choices are. It would be like in Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, not being able to do a raid with someone because they were light side and you were dark side. I don't think that's, while it makes sense in terms of lore, I don't think it's a good feature in terms of gameplay. It worked okay in WoW, to a point, but I think the whole game of WoW was built around the concept of Alliance and Horde. But the fact that some of your friends might have gone Alliance and you might have gone Horde, and then you found out that they were the other one, oh great, now I've got to make a new character just to play with my friend. Not really a big fan of that idea. So that's one thing to think about, and I think we've just got to remember we're making a good game here before we're making it Warhammer. Make a good game, then make it lore specific. Don't necessarily just think of something from the lore and think, how can we put that into this game? Because then you end up with elements from other genres and stuff, and many people have done this already in forums. They've asked for RPG elements, FPS elements. It's not going to work. You've got to have ARPG elements making this game good. So think what's going to be good in an ARPG or maybe an MMO, because I would make the argument that these guys are going into a game pace and a game genre similar to an MMO. Now, one other concern that I think players are going to have with this, and a couple of players I've talked to have said, I don't want guild features, I don't want multiplayer content, because it's going to be stuff I can't do because of maybe work, or just you don't like playing with other people, you're a lone wolf. And I would make the argument that yes, lone wolves in ARPG are a fairly high sort of percentage of players. Less FPS players are going to want to just play the game on their own. They're probably going to want to co-op and other things. Whereas RPG players, yes, there will be more lone wolf players, but I still think the majority of players are going to want some community-based content. Now, that being said, you don't have to deny features to people because they're lone wolves. If you think of a game like Destiny, where they have one dungeon or mission or raid, whatever you want to call it, and you have progressive difficulties for more and more players, I think that would work just fine. Have a difficult mission that a player could do on their own, make it harder for a 4-man team to do, make it even harder for a 4-man guild to do, and there you go. You're looking at some good content, no one's missing out. But if you want to do really difficult stuff, yeah, you have to do it with other players. I think that's more than reasonable, and people aren't going to feel that left out. So that's maybe something to think about. Now, finally, I'm going to pitch to you what I think would work best in this game as a Cabal War feature. And I am cheating a little bit because I'm going to just copy one of the features already in the game. I think the Fortress Attack and Defense is perfect for all of the reasons I've already discussed. The Fortress Attack and Defense, if we have a guild fortress, i.e. something a lot bigger, grander, juicier, requires 4-man to be able to sort of attack another fortress, I think that's a much safer bet than having your typical 4-on-4 PvP or sort of capture the flags or things like that, which many players I think will be put off by, especially in the fact that ARPG PvP is so goddamn hard to control and govern. That being said, I want to see it, I want to see PvP, but I think Fortress Attack and Defense, there'll be something for everyone. For people that just want to contribute towards the guild, they can go out, grind materials, they can grind certain resources, maybe use that to upgrade the guild's fortress, they can contribute to the social network in their own way. For those people that want to attack fortresses and gear up and group up, go and attack another guild's fortress with a 4-man, 6-man team or something like that. I think that is probably the ideal setting which they can implement a truly social feature that's going to have something for everyone. The drawback is going to be, though, that you're going to have maybe 1 to 4 players that are going to be able to build or customize the thing. So maybe a lot of people that are involved in the system will feel a little bit peeved that they might dislike how the map has been arranged, how the fortress has been made. There may be squabbles there. That's going to be something hard to manage, but I think it's something that you could work around, but maybe could be a downside of it. But I would love to hear what you guys have to think of a clan war system. Would you like PvP? Would you like to just beat other people up? Would you like a survival mode where you can see which guild can survive for the longest on a demon planet, where hordes and hordes of demons are coming for you and you just have to last as long as you can to prove that you're the best? Something like that. See what you think, guys. Leave your comments down below. Remember to like the video, subscribe if you enjoy it, and I'll see you next time.